Hello everyone, this is Scarzig and welcome back to another episode of Shardbound. Today, I'm going to be learning the blue faction, Professor Mori and the Fate Keepers. This was a faction that was definitely on my radar, but when I first started playing this game in the during the alpha test, I picked Juro just because I was like, Oathkeeper Juro, that sounds really badass. And, this was back in the alpha. Yellow was like ridiculous, had like a lot of stuff that's no longer in the game. But needless to say, they were doing some pretty crazy stuff that I really enjoyed. So I stuck with them for the most part. And I was, sticking with Yellow as they've been changed and reworked, to get in a more healthy, healthy but still viable sense. So I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, but finally I've been dabbling in blue. And so this is the deck that I had come up with. Let me turn off my camera real quick so that you guys can get a better look at this deck. We've got one copy of Slow Reflexes, one copy of Alternate Reality, and one copy of Super Time Skip. Blue is known for the utility built into their spells, but I really don't have a lot of spells for blue. Like after my draft and like opening up, they've got some good stuff. Like I could maybe put in a second Slow Reflexes. I only have one copy of Alternate Reality. I would really like to get a second copy of that. But getting the Super Time Skip was very fortunate for me. And I know there's archetypes that are built around casting a lot of spells and drawing a lot of cards, but this one I think is a bit more straightforward, and because of that, it's been easier for me to learn it. So to get into the minions, we've got two Timesmith. It's just a one drop, really solid in the early game, and it scales up. The way it gets HP over and over and over again, suddenly it becomes this 2 damage that is just going to keep trading into stuff, and it won't die because it has so much HP. And this becomes even better in decks that are built around drawing a lot of cards. You've got 2 Baffling Presence. In my opinion, one of the strongest minions in the entire game. It can move through enemies and terrain, so you can't body block it. It's really hard to actually avoid this thing, and after it moves, it takes 2 attack from enemies. So Baffling Presence zones you, and then it can go in on the enemy and get free trades into stuff. It's really good. We've got 2 Light Dancers, of course, just to help out our hero who is ranged and needs help taking down stuff that happens to close the distance. And we've got 2 Rebounders to help potentially recycle our Light Dancers and other things. We've got 2 Tome Keepers because we want to draw into our really powerful spells as quickly as possible, especially Super Time Skip. If you can get this online early in the game, then the value it gets you is enormous. And we'll talk about Super Time Skip probably a little bit later. We've got 2 Wraith. This functions just like the Baffling Presence. It can move through enemies and terrain. And so when you can combo this with the Baffling Presence, you get these 2 minions that can just, get in on your opponent from any angle. I love it. We've got 1 Phalanx Leader. I was originally running 2 Phalanx Leaders because it's really good with a faction like this that needs a little bit more attack and with comboing with a ranged general, but I did cut one so that I can make room for High Shepherd Cattell to combo better with the Kraken. When you summon this thing, you get 8 2/2 tentacles. And then, but to go back over the minions, we've got 2 Shockblade Smugglers, which was recently nerfed, which is a really good idea. Shockblade Smuggler is really good in blue because of your ability to move enemy minions into range so that it gets caught up in the splash, and Super Time Skip allows you to move your own minions, so it allows you to put the Shockblade Smuggler into prime locations to get off really good splashes. And then just 1 Weave Breaker, which allows us to slow our opponent down, and it combos with Rebounder as well. Wildlight Wrangler, same difference. This is a card that I talked about during my Juro gameplay that I have really come to love. And like getting Wildlight Wrangler to give attack to the Timesmith, and then Timesmith's ability allows it to keep gaining HP, makes for a really nasty combo. And giving extra attack or HP to Baffling Presence or Wraith is fantastic as well. Astral Champion is just solid overall. You draw a card, and then it just becomes, at the very least, like as Timesmith is the worst case scenario, but I suppose if we look at the average mana cost of our deck, that's kind of how you can read the Astral Champions. More often than not, it's a 6/6, which is decent. Just a big body for us. Fate Linker is it's like it has splash, and this is just great for keeping your opponent's board under control. And note that it says another random enemy, so it can also, that damage can also go face onto your opponent. We've got the Quantum Turnkey here, which we just have one, and I think I only have one copy unlocked of this little guy. Oh, I do have two. I think I would like to make room for two of these, because once you get it on the high ground, it threatens your opponent's face so hard, right? Because whenever it kills a minion, it returns to your opponent's hand and costs 2 more. So your opponent's going to try to body block this thing with like their really strong war cries and stuff, but usually you just have your opponent zoned down, because you don't have to attack the minion with Turnkey. You just finish it off with something else, and if they ever step into line of sight, then you get 3 face damage. It's really strong in that sense, being able to contain your opponent. And then we've got Stormbell Adept, which was changed, of course. It has art now, which is really nice. Change the movement of all enemy minions to 1 for a full round. This is going to allow us to keep our opponent, again, contained. Blue, in my opinion, is very much about control, and this sets up for like Shockblade, Smuggler, and all of our other good minions. Prism Dancer is fantastic. Making up to 3 tiles untraversable for a round. In certain scenarios, that will actually make it impossible for your opponent to win, where they can't like cross a certain route to get face damage on you, or they can't run away from you if they overextend and then you have them caught in a really bad spot. Prism Dancer allows you to just surround them, right? Them not being able to cross those tiles is great. So I've been having a lot of fun playing blue. Got a handful of games in, and I kind of wanted to just show off a little bit of gameplay for my channel.
You face my family.
Watch out! I plan on exceeding my gravitational binding energy.
So right off the bat, we get Tome Keeper, which is good, and we can throw these 2 away to get something hopefully lower curve. Ooh, yes! Look at this curve. Sweet baby Jesus. We're going to play the Timesmith. I suppose it doesn't matter where we play it.
I'm here.
Maybe just here in the most forward position, because he could use the Rockhound to kill this thing if he wants to. There's nowhere I can play it where it's safe. Spellboxer. Interesting. So right now, what I can do is just have the Timesmith just sit there. And this is interesting because I'm thinking that, I forget the name of the spell, Earthen Rage, I think it's called, where green can throw a minion in a line and then deal 2 damage to it. And so he might be using that to get just like a really big face hit with the Spellboxer. If that's the case, then even if I hold my ground, he'd be able to throw it over here and then walk down and hit me. So I think it's better for me to just play the Tome Keeper and, you know, contest the high ground. Alternate reality. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. And then Tome Keeper drawing for Timesmith. This is just going to be one of those games where the Timesmith, I think, is just going to get really, really big. And then, like I was saying before, you have 2 damage that just is madness. So that's both the Spellboxers. I can Wildlight Wrangler. Or I probably Wildlight Wrangler.
Okay, now,
Bring the Tome Keeper up this way to give me some more support on the high ground. Then we'll Wildlight Wrangler the Timesmith. Oh, Weavebreaker. For some reason... Oh, I see. I played Weavebreaker. Oh, for a second I was like, I thought... So I had both. So I played the Weavebreaker by accident, and that's still not too bad, because that kind of slows down his development a little bit. I think I'm going to move down here with the Timesmith. Start threatening these Spellboxers before they can get too much damage in. But I think I would have liked to get the Wildlight Wrangler off that turn.
I hear you.
So this might be some kind of crazy OTK deck where he just gets a bunch of spells and blessings and then buffs the crap out of the Spellboxers and then just Earthen Rages to send them at my face. So I think I'll have to definitely step off of the high ground here pretty soon. But if I can kill these two minions, then that like breaks his whole combo, right? Unless he has, what's the other one? Is it Arcanum Steward? It's a minion that when it's on the board...
Releasing power limiter.
5, so he can't get a face hit. Ouch. That's fine. It's only 4 damage. And then I just kill this thing. Cool. I like this deck though, that's very inventive. There's Light Dancer. So I could actually play this to one-shot the Spellboxer. And save myself a minion, keep a body on the board. Which makes a lot of sense because I do have the Rebounder. I can also alternate reality this Spellboxer, which would be kind of dank as well. But I think I can save that. I think we'll just do this instead.
Illuminate. Yeah. I've got no plan.
Because we've got the alternate reality to you know, to go instead.
Here's my thesis. This'll be great.
Possible for me to get a line of sight on that? No. Okay. So maybe I rebounder this.
Okay.
Or maybe rebounder the Weavebreaker. Which is better? Since he's shown himself to be a combo deck, he's probably not going to be relying on the minions too much. Rebounding the Light Dancer in order to get more
I'm here.
removal potential with my general is probably going to be a lot better. Because when you play ranged, right, because I've been playing yellow so much, playing melee versus ranged in this game is very different. When you, again, you close the distance with that minion, a ranged general can't do much to them in order to remove because they don't trade back, and so it takes them much longer, like several turns more of time to actually finish off a minion by themselves. So you need to have minions near you to help clean things up. Light Dancer, giving, even when you're melee, right? When you're a melee general and you can give yourself +1 attack, that like ups your ability to trade so much better. And this is fine because the Timesmith is just going to keep getting HP as I draw cards. Yeah, so I think now is when I alternate reality the Spellboxer. I can't make terribly good use of it, but I think taking that potential away from him, I think, is the best. Or if I just go let the Timesmith die. It's actually kind of tricky. Do I want to just take this? The Timesmith still dies either way. I could just light,
This'll be great.
get the
Here's my
Spirit Binder.
So many options.
That's
Let's
tough.
do this. Yeah.
First things first, I guess we'll move these guys. And I think that we'll go this route.
Yep, I see it. Illuminate. now,
Because it's like I said, I can't really make too good use of the spell boxer, so using the alternate reality on it would be cool to like flip the board to get another body on his side, but the timesmith dies anyway, so it's like better to just pressure him because he's taken so long, right? Just like doing spell shenanigans and not really getting anything up. So I like this blue style right now that I've hit on that has a lot of minions with just, you know, decent stats, decent effects, and then I'm just using those to my advantage.
I'm here.
Interesting. So we imposters to get the spirit binder back. And there's the quantum turkey. So I can use my time skip to move the spell boxer and then kill it with the weave breaker. Or actually I can move the spell boxer here, kill it with the rebounder, use my general and weave breaker to kill the imposter. That seems legit.
this'll be great. Astral pattern, slap.
Okay.
Throw in the
no
towel. Okay, now,
Let's try this.
Yep, I see it.
I gotta move here so I can kill the imposter.
Okay.
I'll have the Shockblade Smuggler back me up.
Time to shine.
Then we'll get the Quantum Turkey set up.
Designation complete.
Okay, now,
And this is what I'm talking about, where I don't really care about hitting his minions. This is just to threaten face damage. And I love how how this has sort of become a meme, calling it the Quantum Turkey. And if you use the card bot on the subreddit and you search turkey, this actually comes up. So I really appreciate like community memes like that. Oh shit! Mamma mia! The precise detonation. I got rocked. Okay, so we're gonna Wildlight Wrangler on the Quantum Turkey.
Seeking two-body problem. Augment declination.
So I'm gonna play the Fate Linker here to still threaten his spawn. I'm gonna walk away.
time to shine.
Gonna walk away. And so now with the Fate Linker potentially coming around here for a pincer move, it makes it harder for him to body block the Quantum Turnkey from hitting him in the face. And then we've got alternate reality / slow reflexes that allows us to take care of whatever he's trying to do.
Still.
Stone Prison, no!
I'm here.
Rude! Never have I seen such rudeness. Okay, so we've got slow reflexes, which will allow the Wildlight Wrangler and my general to kill the Rock Crusher. And then that will allow me to play the Astral Champion. Plays. Actually, if I use my time skip to move the Rock Crusher here, the Fate Linker can hit it, and then he takes 3 face damage, and then Wildlight Wranglers, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's lethal.
Here's my thesis.
Oh, I have to move
I've
first.
got no plan. Yep, I see it. Bump.
Yeah.
Fate Linker!
Let's try this. No.
Aha!
Do this.
So many options.
That's spicy.
See, Party, you just have to turn the milkshake counterclockwise.
First win of the day! Hooray! Yo, but that, oh, cool, we got a card. But seriously, that precise detonation, like, completely destroyed me. And I think that his deck definitely had a really good idea with the spell boxers, but I think that drawing both of them super early like that forced him to play them just like, you know what I mean,
Let your short-term fate matrices
before
follow
he
your
had
victory
the actual
horizon.
cards in his hand to set up for it. So Stormbell Adept is probably really good against, I would say it's good against yellow to keep them from running in on you. Slow reflexes would be good too to help my minions trade better. Astral Champion I can mulligan. But I think I have to keep these just because they're so good specifically in this matchup that it's better to just have them in hand and work around it. Wraith Wildlight Wrangler is bueno.
My thesis.
Bad news though is he gets access to the high ground going first. It allows you to get established on the high ground a lot easier. Duskblade, interesting. That's cool.
Be great.
If I want to get a hit in, then I have to.
Yep, I see it.
I want to hit the Duskblade though. Got 2 wraiths. Wow.
So many options. Here's my thesis.
Step away. Yeah, I guess I just play it to threaten. Because if he has to use he can't run away from this as easy because it can move through terrain. This is what I'm talking about. Like, it's really hard to run away from the Wraith. Like, I can Wildlight Wrangler this thing, and if I get plus attack, I can kill the Tribe Warrior. So good. I can actually slow reflexes the Duskblade. Because it wouldn't do any damage, so the poison wouldn't activate. And I'm wondering if that's worth to keep the Wraith alive, or if I just make the trade now. Probably better to hit the Tribe Warrior. No, because if I use the Wraith to trade into the Tribe Warrior, then the Tribe Warrior kills it the next time he summons something, and then the Duskblade lives. So, do I just pull away with the Wraith? Let him come to me? Develop the Shockblade Smuggler? That might be better.
Let's do this.
Better.
Let's try this.
Yeah, because if I just develop the Shockblade Smuggler, then
I'm here.
he can't really do anything. Right? In terms of closing the gap, I mean, like, Splash is so, like, hard for Juro to play around, in my opinion. Like you see here, like, he just moved the Tribe Warrior into range of the Shockblade Smuggler. Okay, so he is doing a swarmy list. I guess he just has the Duskblade to pressure his opponent early. Make it so they don't do any crazy stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool. I respect that.
This'll be great.
We're gonna Wildlight Wrangler the Wraith because it's easier for it to close the distance.
I'm here.
It gets plus attack. Hallelujah.
Let's try this.
Bit here. No. We gotta keep it out of range of the Duskblade, so we'll move it here.
Yep, I see it.
Kill the Tribe Warrior.
Okay.
Here's my thesis.
I think I need to maybe start thinking about killing this Duskblade.
Yep, I see it.
Let's do this.
Leave the Shockblade Smuggler here. There's it's definitely a very subtle dance when you're playing against Juro, because like the Pack Lord is kind of an issue. Once I take out the Pack Lord, his second Pack Lord, like there's only like a handful of key units that once I clear them up, it makes it very, very hard for him to actually continue to fight me. Yeah, so drawing a Dawn Chaser... No, excuse me, what's it called? No, Dawn Chaser is this one. The other one's called Light Dancer. Drawing a Light Dancer would be fantastic, allowing me to kill the Duskblade. Give me some breathing room. But nope, he's moving it in. That's cool. I'm wondering if it's worth it to slow reflexes this thing. Even getting my hands on an alternate reality would be fantastic to deal with the Duskblade. If I slow reflexes, then the Shockblade Smuggler can kill it, and then my units can advance. Figure out a way to take out the Pack Lord, though. It's just a matter of closing that distance. Yeah, I'm gonna slow reflexes this thing.
Okay. Let's try this. No. Yeah.
Play the Baffling Presence.
I'm here.
I've got no plan.
Hit this Pack Lord. I wonder if I do hit the Pack Lord or not here. Realized that I played into Pack Awakener. And I think I'd mentioned this in my other video that I'm not sure if Pack Awakener is a card you actually need to play around or if it's something that I run. That's cool. You have to hit. You have to kill the Baffling Presence. Barrel Rush, there it is. Alright, cool. I was gonna say that I didn't see a way for him to kill that thing. This is really solid.
Good night.
I'm here.
Very solid. So I can Wraith Wildlight Wrangler. Problem is still this Pack Lord, though. I could use Time Skip to throw the Pack Lord away and then just play the Astral Champion. Try to get a bigger body on the board. If I throw the Pack Lord here, it can still move here, which gives it line of sight on me still, which isn't good. That's definitely not worth it.
This'll be great. Yep, I see it. I've got no plan.
Wraith Wildlight Wrangler or Wraith Astral Champion? Wraith Wildlight Wrangler is better.
I'm here.
I think that this might force him to take... It was either the Wraith gets tanky enough where he can't deal with it, or the Wraith forces him to take 7 damage.
I'll put you in the dirt.
Another Feral Rush, wow. Realized that card was so good.
I'm here.
So now the Pack Lord's on high ground, and that's like the scenario you really don't want to happen to you.
I'm here.
Such a good weave breaker too, very well timed. So I can
Let's try this. No.
Here's my thesis. Astral pattern.
Let's do this.
Bolt.
the Wildlight Wrangler this way to threaten the weave breaker, and Astral Champion. I'll play it here, so it still threatens him, but the Pack Lord can't get at it. Good draw. 8-8. I'll take it. Because, like, Juro can do a lot of work once he closes the distance and starts fighting you in your spawn. The trick is to get things that are so threatening that he no longer has the tools to keep up and has to leave and then try again.
No.
8-6, still good. This functions just like the Quantum Turnkey, where it's just zoning this area of my spawn super hard. Yeah, so we get him to run away, and now we just have to figure out how to get the Pack Lord to die. Actually, if he doesn't move the Pack Lord, if he just keeps it here to zone me, I can step out from behind this rock, time skip it, and then the Astral Champion kills it. Yes! Okay, I think we're back in this, boys. And there's the Commander Barzik.
I've got no plan. Yep, I see it. Scooch.
Okay.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right, so crisis averted. I think we can just play the Prism Dancer. Probably back here. Let me see. Yeah, we want to play it back here. I want to keep it away from him in case he has another cut down. And what's nice here is the 6 HP on the Astral Champion means that he has to trade in the Barzik into it. And because of the Prism Dancer, it's much easier for me to kill these 4/4s.
I'm here.
The Weave Breaker. This is really interesting. Okay, so he's trying to close this out. He's noticing the card advantage here. Super time skip. Okay. Now we're cooking. Now check this out. Super time skip makes it so that our ability, our hero power, can affect our own minions, and so it allows us to get our guys into range a lot easier. So I can super time skip this turn to upgrade my power and then summon the Shockblade Smuggler, and then suddenly, you know, it has 2 extra movement, and it makes it a lot harder for him to play around stuff. The other play is just to Quantum Turnkey, and then just set up. I have 2 ranged units that just threaten his board, and then I just do super time skip later. Might be the best bet. Yeah, because Shockblade Smuggler is kind of weak to all this. No. I'm gonna get the super time skip online simply because it's so good
Yep, I see it.
once you get it up and running. Ooh, I actually could have used the Phalanx Leader there to get some extra damage.
I'm here.
I'll play the Shockblade Smuggler here. An alternate play, you can't use your minion's ability the turn it comes into play, but this is going to destroy like his ability to close this distance, and I can just pick off all of his stuff. Getting the Shockblade Smuggler, yeah, like you see that formation like zones his approach so hard that there's no way that he can close the distance anymore. And I think it's because he used his cut down and his feral rushes kind of liberally, thinking that he could just close out the game. But we managed to stick it out. That huge swing turn he had was clutch. But yeah, anyway, that's the deck. Everything seems to synergize really well, even though it's mostly minions and only a handful of spells, which again is perfect for me. Coming from yellow, basically playing that same style of deck, but with just more defensive utility is just, it's just an awesome way for me to get my feet wet in the faction. So I'm going to be playing a lot more blue in the future. So thank you for stopping by. I will see you next time, and you have a good one.